Sta bene. Dov'è caduto?
A 11.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the Sunday press conference here at the at Galicia 00 Grand Prix of Spain at the Circuito de Jerez Ángel Nieto. What a race it was, played out in front of 101,000 fans. It's huge congratulations, a first-time winner in the MotoGP World Championship to BK8 Gresini Racing rider Alex Marquez. Second, his first podium since Mandalika in 2023. What a weekend it's been for Monster Energy Yamaha rider Fabio Quartararo. Second in the Grand Prix from pole position. And completing our top three here in Spain, Ducati Lenovo team rider Pecco Bagnaia, who was also third in yesterday's Tissot Sprint. Gentlemen, congratulations to all three of you. Alex, we'll start the press conference with you. What a day, what a moment for you, leading the MotoGP World Championship once again, but doing it in style. Your first victory in MotoGP. What a place to do it here in Jerez. The full house, 101,000 fans. Alex, you must be so emotional right now. Huge congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, yeah, of course, I'm super happy. I mean, if you ask me where you want to win your first MotoGP race, I will say for sure Jerez. I win my first one in Moto2 also here and was already special. But to win in MotoGP is like another level. I mean, I was there in turn 9-10. After the checkered flag, was amazing. I mean, amazing. We have the best spectators and more respectful and the best ones on the wall, and especially, I mean, it was amazing race for me. I had really clear things before to start with the medium rear. I know that the opportunity today was huge, and is what I was trying to be really focused, and especially when I saw it Mark crashing on turn 8, I say, okay, today is your day. Just try to overtake these two guys. I know that with Mark on track today I have some opportunity or some chance, but without him I know that I was the strongest one. So I mean, I just keep focused, keep going, and when I overtook Fabio, I was just trying to make my pace with any crazy things and trying to arrive to the end.
We're just seeing on screens now, Alex, some of the explosion of emotions, not just from you, but from some of those 101,000 fans. How were those last sort of 4 or 5 laps when you can see the checker flag coming close? Was it hard to keep your concentration? And just talk us through some of those incredible celebrations.
Yeah, I mean, I was 7 to the end. I was losing a little bit of concentration, honestly speaking. And I say, okay, try to push again, try to make your lap times again, and try to go again on the focus mode, because I was thinking in too many things, like a team, how to celebrate, how to do that, how to do, and I say, okay, come on, 7 to go, still they can say something, these guys that you have behind you that are a MotoGP World Championship. So I mean, I just trying to be focused. I arrived to the Parc Fermé with no gloves, no boots, but the ground deserved it, and just that also, was super nice the last lap there in that point.
Of course, a great moment. Not a great day for Mark, unfortunately, but the first time in history that two brothers have won together in the history of the MotoGP World Championship. Alex, huge congratulations. Well done. We'll come on to second place then. Monster Energy Yamaha rider Fabio Quartararo. Fabio, it's been an incredible weekend for you here in Jerez. Pole position with that incredible lap yesterday. You were leading the sprint, leading the Grand Prix for the first 11 laps today. A special weekend for you here in Jerez as well.
Yes, really special. Was a special weekend for me, especially the pole position, start the sprint, quite aggressive with Mark in the first corner. And we were fast this weekend. Today we knew in the Sunday after Moto2 we are always struggling a little bit more. But I could make my pace. My lines are a little bit different to the others, but we managed to stay in the lead for some laps that for us was really important, because as Alex overtook me, I could not follow not even few corners, and then I could make my pace, and today was the best position we could finish.
And how did it feel, Fabio, just to be once again in pole position, once again leading a Grand Prix on Sunday? It's been some hard times these last couple of years, so I'm sure like yesterday you said that you had a lot of fun out there and you really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the race, especially, it has been many years that I have not been leading a MotoGP race. The feeling of having nobody in the front is amazing, and I think that mentally it has been a big step for me to know that we are fast. We know that we can be fighting with these guys, but I think for the next races we have to keep no expectation, because the bike is the same as the last two GPs, and we know how much we struggle in Qatar. So let's try to stay calm, and the day we will have the opportunity to make this kind of GP, we will take the opportunity as much as possible to make what we did.
Fabio, a great time for you to return to the podium as well, with your home Grand Prix in Le Mans coming up in 2 weeks' time. And congratulations to you as well, because for the first time this weekend, the fans at home were able to vote for their rider of the race, and they chose you. So many congratulations,
Thank you.
Fabio, on a great job. Completing the podium today then is Pecco Bagnaia for the Ducati Lenovo team. Pecco, a good weekend, third place on the grid, third place in the sprint and third place in the Grand Prix, but you always want more. So are you satisfied at the end of this Spanish Grand Prix weekend?
No, I'm not happy with races like this. I cannot do anything again. I was quite happy in the first for the first 3-4 laps that my pace and feeling was very good. But as soon as I ride to Fabio, I didn't have any chance to overtake. Every time I was arriving corner 7, 8, 11, 12, I was losing a lot. The front was close, locking a lot, and I was losing it everywhere. So it's a shame that it's like this, but it's what it is, the situation right now. So luckily we have an important test tomorrow. We will work a lot to find a better balance, because right now we are struggling. It's just strange that corners where I was super strong last year, that were corner 11 and 12, this season I was struggling a lot, even more when I was behind. And looking at Alex, he was super strong like I was last year. So we need to maybe change something on the bike to change the balance. So tomorrow will be an important day.
Tomorrow an important day. There was a good early battle, a very strong early battle with your teammate Mark. Talk us through that one.
And I think like I said, the first 3-4 laps I was having a really great feeling. I was knowing that Mark was trying to overtake me in corner 8, but this season luckily I was more competitive in those corners. So I just tried to, I was quite sure that he was not expecting me to enter in corner 9, so I just tried there. He crossed the line, and then he was a bit wide in corner 10. I crossed again the line, and then we touched because he was winning, so more difficult to control the front, and we had the contact, but was very short. Unluckily, it wasn't the last 2 laps for the first 2 positions.
Pecco, we hope you find some solutions here at the Monday test tomorrow. Gentlemen, well done to all 3 of you. We'll now please take questions from the floor. Thank you very much.
Hi guys, Adam Wheeler from the Paddock Pass podcast. Question for Alex, Felicidades. Maybe it's a silly question, but would you rate the GP24 as maybe the best motorcycle you've raced? Because you made it look easy today.
Yes, definitely yes. The 24.0 is the best one, and it's the one that I will have from now to the end. So I believe like is the best one. Is the best one that I ride in my life, and we know what we will have, and we need to focus on the points that we have and try to believe in our potential.
Neil Morrison, Alex, a question for you and one for Fabio as well. Alex, huge congratulations. Can you talk us a little bit about that moment on at turn number 6 early in the race, because it looked quite scary. You came very close to touching both Mark and I think Pecco ahead.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was trying today to be in front, because we know that it was so important today to have to be in front and to have that fresh air for the front tire. I think also for that reason we saw with the fight with Mark and Pecco, they know that today the key of the race was to start in front and just put your pace. So I was braking really late. I was trying the move to Mark, but I didn't have room to go a little bit wide, a little bit in the mid corner because Pecco was in front. So I just decided to release a little bit the brakes. I saw it that was a space between them, and I go wide just to not make any stupid mistake. And fortunately, I didn't lose any position in that point, and I was able to recover my P4. So it was just that.
Okay, thank you. And Fabio, I think on Thursday you said we always struggle at the start of the race on Sunday after the Moto2 race. The grip is a lot less, but we saw you really strong at the start. So what changed today?
Nothing. We still struggle in the first laps. Also, I think that the battle with Pecco and Mark helped us to make a gap. But my goal today was really same as yesterday. Try to make the first few laps really strong and then make our pace without asking too much on the front. But we are still struggling in the beginning of the races.
David Emmett, Paddock Pass Podcast. Again, a question for Alex and for Fabio. First of all, for Alex, congratulations, obviously. This morning, during warm-up, you were following Pecco. You went out and you were following Pecco very, very closely for, I think, 4 laps. Was that a strategy to try to understand how how following a rider affects the front tire, or was it just that Pecco was in front?
I mean, we were out from box, we were both together. He decided to go for it, and I say, okay, when you have the opportunity to follow Marco Pecco, it's the best way to know the limit of the Ducati. So I just trying to follow him, not for the front tire, just to see his lines and all that, because we know that Pecco in Jerez is super strong. And I was able to see some points that I was stronger and some points that he was stronger. So in that point, it's true that I was with used rear and he was with new rear. And I already saw it that my traction was super good in that point. So I just I say, okay, we have a good bike for the race, because it's what I said yesterday. We lose all the Friday afternoon, and from Friday to Saturday we didn't make a step, and the other ones yes. And our step was from Saturday to Sunday, so slightly late, but was on time to win the race. So was just there. When you are behind Pecco Mark, I was just to try to understand the things that they are doing better, because it's impossible to be better in all the corners. So always you have like a tricky point that you can see and improve.
And Fabio, I mean, apart from you, because you were riding fantastic today, how has the Yamaha improved? It was always seemed that you were down on top speed and you were lacking grip, no traction. It seemed like the speed was okay, but you had good traction today.
Well, like I said, it's the same bike from Austin. We just stopped to make many settings during the weekend, don't change everything, but just try to keep the same bike, and myself just try to put the bike on the limit. And right now we don't have anything that will make us doing a step forward. So tomorrow hopefully we will have, but this weekend is the kind of weekend that you arrive from the Friday, and from the second lap we were on 37.6 I think. So we were directly feeling good, and we bring all the good moments till today. So this is why I said that we have zero expectation for the next races, because it's the same bike. But let's see if we can bring these good moments to the next races.
Hi. Matt Oxley from the Oxley Bomb MotoGP podcast. Question mainly for Fabio, but also for Alex and Pecco. Fabio, obviously vibration from the tyre has been a big issue for the last year and a bit. The Yamaha had quite a lot last year, so is that one of the things that you've improved this year?
I don't understand.
The vibration from the rear tyre. Did you have vibration this weekend?
We never had chatter.
Since when?
Well, this year we have a little bit, but it's something that with the tire is, I don't know, it's like some typical corners, like in Austin was the long ride that you go in and the rear jump. This weekend I have zero chatter, and during the race I had chatter on the two fast rights, lefts, 7 and 8. So it's something super strange, because in the past we never used to have. But also listening all the riders, looks like the corners are really similar and the chatter are similar. So quite weird. But since this year we didn't had any chatter.
Thank you. And for Alex and Pecco, we spoke to Mark after the race yesterday, and he said he did have chatter in 1 or 2 corners. So I wondered if you, Alex, on the GP24 and you, Pecco, on the GP24, whatever, whether you had chatter this weekend, any time, or in today's race, or in any corners. Thank you. Chatter or vibration?
Chatter.
Or vibration, whatever you want to call it.
Little bit. But today and this weekend, fortunately, was a chatter that I nearly didn't feel. So here was much better compared to Qatar, that the issue was big. So it depends the track, what Fabio says, depend the type of corner also, because for example in Qatar it was a nightmare, in 15 and all that. So it depends the tire and all that, but here fortunately it was not a big one.
Luckily, I'm not suffering vibration from the rear. I had a bit in Qatar, but I think Qatar is particular. And today I just have a little bit in corner 7, 8, and 4, but was also strange because the pace was quite slow. I don't know if it was for the condition, for the temperature, because I think it was similar from last year. But today the pace was quite slow, and the rear was having this kind of vibration that normally happens when the pace is very strong. So it's strange, but was the same situation for everybody.
Hi guys, a question for Alex and one for Pecco. First of all, Alex, a couple of years ago you told me that you were on the verge, you were on the point of stopping if you would not have gotten a new contract, not with Honda. Now, could you tell us what the moment was that you thought, okay, I can still do this, and when did that, let's say, click come, and how much does this mean for you? Because we saw you crying, of course, which is understandable, but anyway.
I remember in 22, I was in Sachsenring, so already half season. Everybody had the contract. I was with no contract, not interesting from the team, so I just went to Gresini. I just was say, okay, I want your bike. I don't care about the other things. I just want your bike and see what my potential is. Do to me 1 year and then we'll see. And honestly speaking, from the first lap in Valencia with the Ducati, I understand that the potential was there and was matter of time to come back. It's true that last year for me was a little bit nightmare in some point of the season because I was not able to be where was my expectation with the 23 bike, but was the year that I learned a lot, and for that reason this year I'm really competitive because I get used to ride a bike that was one step behind the 24. So just that, in that moment, honestly speaking, Valencia 2022, I realized that the potential was there and was a matter of time of get used to Ducati to come back.
Yesterday you told us that you were not thinking about the championship. Has today changed anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. My question to you, Pecco. Pecco, yesterday you told us, I normally am better on the Sunday than on the Saturday, but what you've been telling us now is that you have the same problems. Are you very worried, or do you think this is just the fact that this is Jerez and this can be a difficult track if you are behind somebody?
Yes, but today I was better than yesterday. At least I overtook someone, so was better. And then the problem this season is always the same. When you are behind someone, you start to feel that the front is loose, is looking everywhere, and is a problem. And for the first time that Mark wasn't leading from the start and was behind someone with the pace similar, he lose the front, because every time you arrive in that position, when you start resisting the brake, you lose the front, and it's something that I'm getting used to because it's from the first race that I'm in this situation, and today, like always, I lost the front many times. Corner 8, corner 11, 12, corner 4, 5. We don't know why. We are trying to understand the situation because Mark is very good to ride everything. Honestly speaking, I cannot do it. I want to feel better, to have a good feeling with the front, and in this situation it is quite difficult because it's something that is new for me, because last year I never had this kind of feeling, and I was doing things on fast corners that this season I cannot do it. So maybe we will have to understand and change the balance of the new bike and try to different solutions, because it's difficult like this.
Simon Patterson from the race. First to Alex. At the back. Obviously, you're already a double world champion and you've had a ton of career success. But where does today fit into the kind of the rankings of the highlights of your career?
Yeah, same level like my 2 titles. Today was on that level. I mean, when I passed the last corner, I was like a mix of emotion. I mean, I was happy, I was emotionally. So, you know, was super nice. I mean, maybe these 2 guys have maybe a easiest way on MotoGP. I was tough in some years. Yeah, you started just 1 year, not 2, 1.5. But yeah, when you are there and you know you have the right people behind you and in your side. From that people, I was remembering a lot. Also my grandfather and all that, all my family, and especially also Mark. You know, he's the guy that is every day with me, that he's supporting more me, that he's giving to me more advices, and yeah, it was super nice to be there.
And Pecco, just to pick up on what you said to Frank, is this something that's completely unique to the GP25, this problem? And if it is it time to try and do something radical, like exploring going back completely to the 24? Or?
I think that the 25 have more potential than the 24, because I have more acceleration, more top speed. In the brakes, in the braking zone is very good. Straight is very good. But I don't know why, because the only thing that is the same is the chassis. So theoretically, the balance is very similar or the same as the previous one. But last year I was never having this kind of problem, apart the sprint. But on the long race, I was always able to follow other riders. For example, in this track, I followed Jorge Martin for more than 10 laps, like this. And I was not having any kind of issue. This season I cannot do it, and looking at the data, it's quite clear that if you put the lap time of Alex with my lap times from last year, it's very similar, his potential on the fast corners. And if you put my one with last year's, I cannot do it. And the front is much more, it looks softer. So maybe we need to understand the situation and try new solutions, but it's not completely correct to go back to the 24, even also because Mark is winning everything, so it's also difficult when your teammate is winning like this.
Imre Paulovic from Motorsport Aktuell. A question to Fabio. Fabio, in the past couple of days, everybody was talking about the V4 Yamaha. Now you have shown clearly that the M1 still has some very strong points. How do you want to continue the development of these 2 bikes, and which one would you prefer?
Which one I prefer? I don't know. I didn't test the new one. It's true that one thing that we have to improve, I don't know if it's with the V4 or with our current bike, is the way to approach the corners, especially we are braking a lot with the front and we are not using the rear on the braking, and also when we are alone, the riding style is quite okay. But as soon as you make a small mistakes on the brakes, when the bike slide is really aggressive. So like I said, I think the V4 is the way to be the most similar to the riding style. But I just want to have a fast bike and be fighting with these guys. So it's going to be difficult, and I hope that they can manage the best way as possible with the parallel to project, and let's see.
Hi guys, David Few from L'Equipe. Question for Pecco. Question for Pecco.
Mela, buenos días. Uves y ráfagas, Mela.
He start from the match from yesterday night.
Yeah, Pecco here.
Sorry.
In the Parc Fermé, you paid tribute to Fabio's second place. What do you think particularly impressive in his performance?
That with a slower bike than mine. My one is a bike that allow me to win or to overtake easily every riders. He was doing an amazing job. I cannot be close. He was really strong in fast corners. Was really strong in the braking. Stava spremendo. I don't know how to say it in English, but he was squeezing every little details of his bike and was super fast. And I cannot get close. If I was arriving to him like 0.0, I was quite sure that exiting from last corner or the other straight, I was overtaking him easily on the straight. But it was not the case, because everywhere he was exiting so smooth, so fast, and he was really strong.
Hi, Dimitris Diatsidis from Greek TV. Question for Pecco and one for Fabio. Pecco, can you tell us if you noticed how much the pressure of your front is going up when you were following Fabio, and it was this the problem that is not allowed you to close the gap?
It's something that I will know later when I ride to the box. When I will have the meeting, I will ask to the team, like always, to understand, because normally I'm having a lot of movement, but sometimes it's not just the pressure; it's also the temperature of the tire. It's true that today was very hot, and the movement that I was having is always like this when I'm behind. Even in the warm-up lap, that you are going slow and you are behind someone, you start to feel this. So it's something that maybe we need to add more weight on the front of the bike.
And question for Fabio. Fabio, Yamaha has heritage, let's say, in this track. Also, the R1, the normal bike, the R1 of Superbike, is very, very fast in 11, 12 in the fast corners. Is also your M1 there that you are taking the advantage of the Ducati today?
Yeah, I think M1 and R1 is completely different bikes.
Same engine.
Similar. But for example, last year was the corner where we struggled the most, that the bike was shaking like hell and we could not lean. And from last year to now, I think we changed at least 4 or 5 different spec of engine that just give us better handling and a little bit less shaking. Unfortunately, on the power, we lose a little bit because the engine was really fast but really aggressive. So it doesn't matter if the Yamaha was good in the past or not, that from one year to another, last year I finished P16 with the arm pump and 42nd from P1, and this year I was much more closer, so nothing compared with the past. It's just right now everything is about details.
Niki Kovács from Motor Review Hungary, and that one for you, Alex. You already mentioned that it was emotionally a roller coaster, this race. And when you saw Mark crashing, you saw the opportunity for you. Is it really possible to you to put aside the emotions on that moment? Because you know that how close you are. Or when you see your brother crashing?
When he lost the front in that point, I was saying inside the helmet like no, because he was like trying to save for many time, and then he like disappeared from my side, and then in that moment, no, I just like okay, click, you know, he activated me, and he activated me in a really good way, and it's what I say when I saw him crashing. I say okay, it's your day, you cannot lose that opportunity again like in Austin. So it was like emotional for 0.5 seconds, and later on was like I was just focusing on my race.
Not even 0.5.
Question for Fabio on your right, Fabio over here. You repeated twice that you don't want to create expectation for the next race. Do you realize that the next race is France? Are you going to convince the motards?
I know. I said that Le Mans for me I think is a good track because it's a hard braking, a track where the tire is not dropping so much, And I think the key of this weekend was a little bit like that, because in Qatar we know the drop is there, and when you push 10, I feel like the Ducatis are pushing a little bit less than us. We put much more effort to keep the lap time and arrive to one moment where we really drop. And here I could really push 100% all the race, even if the drop was little. And Le Mans is kind of race that have a little bit of Jerez. I just don't want to be too excited, because when you create expectation, if I want to be on the podium and we finish P5, I will not be happy. So of course I will give my maximum like I did this weekend, and I hope that I will be in this press conference on Sunday.
Okay, that concludes the English part of today's press conference. So Alex, Fabio and Pecco, congratulations to all three of you. Just a quick reminder, there will now be a chance for the Spanish, Italian and French media to ask in their native language. So thank you very much. We will see you in Le Mans.